Bob Simone, in today's real estate market, there are a lot of folks that are under the impression that it makes more sense economically to be renting instead of buying. How do you answer people who have that train of thought?
Well, during the recession, that thought started to surface, and it had to do with the declining, value of property. So there was a fear factor that developed. I think now post-recession we're starting to see more of a normalized real estate market appear, and as a result we're starting to see the shift into equity and wealth building. So as people start to get more confident that real estate as an investment has stabilized, that you have the ability to start to build equity and wealth again as part of a family asset or wealth building plan in conjunction with other types of investments, we're starting to see the shift away from basically paying the landlord's mortgage into deciding to pay their own mortgage and kind of build their own equity and nest egg. So I think that real estate's always been a part of the American dream. It's been more than just a roof over your head. It's been about owning something, and I think we're seeing that come back in. And because the rents had escalated, we're seeing now people looking at the cost of rent in a particular market versus the cost of a very low percentage rate mortgage, and we're finding that it may be a matter of only a few $100s difference. So for that difference, people are saying I might as well invest in myself.
Some people might also be concerned with the QM rules, feeling that their credit isn't good enough to qualify for a mortgage. How do you answer those concerns?
Our belief is that as a real estate brokerage, our teammate and ally is a mortgage company, a lender, and we coach our buyers that are coming in, whether they're getting referred in or finding us through our online presence or maybe meeting them at an open house. When they have those type of questions, the easiest way to get over the fear and to get really accurate answers is to speak to one of the lending institutions that we're quite commonly recommending to them.
There are also programs out there through FHA or some of the other government agencies and state agencies too that could assist people to get mortgages if they don't have pristine credit. Is that correct?
It is, and what we find is that most of the consumers aren't aware of all of the programs available. In certain markets in our local area here, you have USDA loan products. And when I talk to buyers about USDA, they don't have any idea that they might be able to take advantage of a loan program through that government organization. FHA, which I think is a loan that people commonly hear about, still isn't really widely understood by a lot of people. And with some of the regulation changes and compliance changes, again, it's important for the buyers as well as our own real estate agents at our brokerage to really have a great working relationship with people in the lending community so that we can break down the myths, get accurate answers, and really spend more time helping people get into homes.
But just go back to USDA for a minute, because that's the United States Department of Agriculture. I guess some people might think that those are farm loans or for rural areas, but that's not entirely the case.
It isn't. So when you're dealing with any of these loan programs, you have to see what limitations and restrictions there are. But remember, loan programs have always been developed so that it is able to get money into the hands of home buyers and real estate consumers. So we find that the myth of these limitations, maybe this particular town may not qualify, or maybe I might not qualify due to credit or income or other variables, oftentimes those are really myths. We joke around about the person that's getting advice from the person in the next cubicle, and all of the non-professionals who dispense advice freely. What we believe is that by getting information from mortgage professionals, from real estate professionals, people are going to learn more about some of the programs that are coming out, some of the changes maybe, and that breaks the myth cycle and actually helps improve the ability for people to get into the right home for themselves.
What about a lot of the so-called millennials? There's a major concern that because of student loan debt, many people in their 20s or even their early 30s can't qualify for a home, and they probably won't for many years until their student loans are paid off.
The free market system tends to adjust to the economic variables. So when we talk about people getting employment, having debt, we find that the free market tends to accommodate that and find ways to solve that. we aren't seeing a lot of people that have good credit and that have employment not able to get into property. What we're finding is that we have to reset their expectations of what type of property they're going to get into. So for instance, someone who may have grown up in a 3-bedroom colonial, and they said, gee, when I grow up I want to be able to buy that same colonial that I grew up in. Sometimes we need to reset their expectations, and maybe we'll start them with a 2-bedroom ranch or a condominium. And what we try to do is educate them on the idea that real estate is something that you can move into and out of, so that in the different changes and time periods of your life, you can use real estate as a really positive place to be able to enjoy an urban environment when you're maybe younger and wanting to be kind of out in the scene, or when you get married and have children and looking for that family neighborhood, you're changing your real estate for that. Now, all of those different times of life have to do with different economic positions that people are in. The idea of saving money has come back into vogue, and what we're finding is that with our brokerage in particular, we team our clients up with not only mortgage professionals but also financial professionals, so that they're getting a combination of good mortgage advice, good real estate advice, good financial planning and retirement planning advice, which will lead to paying off that type of debt and understanding how to do it the right way.